friends, today I'm going to show you guys a small video tutorial on how to make letters with Cuttable patterns. As you can see in this file that I created, it's a very simple process and very easy. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is you have to have some sort of pattern that you can actually cut. And for example, here I have a chevron pattern that if you put the cut lines, you turn the cut lines on, you can see you can actually cut these lines. So what I've done is I'm going to turn off my lines here. You can see I have my pattern in the back, which I've actually just filled with different colors, so it's easier for you guys to see. And then I have my font, which could be any of the fonts that you actually use in your computer. So any font is fine, and it's very simple. I've like I said, I made the two different colors so it's easier for you guys to see. So the first step is you take your font, you place it on top of your pattern, and you take your font and you do we're going to do an offset, an internal offset. So we turn on our offset right here, and we go to internal offset, and what I do is I actually leave it as it is, just with the standard measuring that it's giving me, which in this case is 0.04. And what I do, since I just leave it exactly as it is, so I just hit apply. So now I have an internal offset in of my font, and what I do is I then click on top of on the middle, so I can again select the original letter, and then I do Control X. Or in other words, you can actually do right click and say cut. Okay. So now you can see I have the I guess the shape of the font from my internal offset, and then I have the pattern in the back. So now what I have to do is I have to select both my letter as well as my pattern. So I select both, and I go back to my modify right here, which is my modify window. You can go either on this right hand side, or you can go to object, modified, and then do what I'm going to do, which is basically I'm going to choose to crop. And as you can see, once I crop, my letter takes on the pattern that I have underneath. So now what I have to do is I have to click Control F to bring my original letter back on. And now what I do is I select everything. So I select everything, and I right click and create and say make a compound path, and you will see what happens. Here's where the magic happens. So now I have my letter with my pattern, and it's a very simple process, as you can see. Now you can just do this with any pattern that you want. So I originally had this chevron pattern, which I picked from one of the groups in Facebook that I belong to. But you can actually do this with any pattern that you already have in your computer. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to make just a standard square or rectangular, whatever you call this. And then I'm going to fill this with any of the patterns that I have. So I'm going to choose a fairly easy one, which is this right here. Wait. Whoops, sorry. Let me delete this and then just select this, and again fill it with my pattern. So here it is. I have the pattern, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a trace of this pattern. So I'm going to go to my trace window right here. I'm going to select trace area, and I'm going to select my rectangular or my square, and I'm going to remove the high pass filter. In this case, the high pass filter is I don't need, and I'm going to increase my threshold. So as you can see, it kind of fills in all those lines that I have. So I'm just gonna go up to 100% on my threshold, and actually a little bit less because otherwise it starts kind of getting wiggly. So you can see right here a little bit better. Increase it right here. No, a little bit less. You can play with it, and then just do a trace. Okay, once you trace that, as you can see, if I move this, then I have cuttable lines here from my pattern. So what I can do is I can delete my pattern now, and then I'm gonna go back and do the same thing I did originally. I'm gonna type a letter. Oops, sorry, I have this letter with my original pattern. So I'm gonna type a letter. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it easier. And I'm gonna actually change my font to make it like the one I used before, which is a little bit thicker, and I think it works better for this type of work that we're doing right now. So here again, I put it on in front of my pattern, my Cuttable pattern, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. I grab my letter, I do an internal offset, and I apply my offset right here. I'm just gonna make it square because this is a very square letter. And then I'm gonna choose again, select my letter. I'm gonna do Control X or cut. Now I'm gonna choose my font, my letter, my pattern, and I'm gonna go to Modified, Crop, and you can see it adapts the pattern. And I'm gonna go to Control F, brings my letter back to the front, and then I'm gonna go and do select everything, right click, make compound pad, and here you go. You have a letter with a different pattern from the original that we started with. So you can see here it's a chevron pattern, and then on this one you have just a, I guess it could be a Christmas pattern. Alrighty, I hope y'all like this tutorial, and please feel free to leave your messages underneath and visit my blog. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you. Sorry, usually my blog is in Spanish, but some people asked me to make this video, and I decided to make it in both English and Spanish. Alrighty, hope you enjoy it. Take care. Thank you. Bye.